How does that make you feel?
I guess better for having chosen the vegan option.
Yeah, exactly. Hi guys, so we're here today to make people choose a vegan ice cream
I would do food.
and then see what they think afterwards, because we don't think the difference is that big, and we'll see what they think.
We're gonna question people, ask people about their food choices in terms of dairy, in terms of ice cream, because veganism can be also about ice creams. It's not just the usual alternatives that comes to your mind. So yes, that's why we're here. So let's see what people will say.
So you're going to get some ice cream, I reckon. Yeah.
That's right.
So so I have a deal for you. I will pay for your ice cream, but it has to be the vegan option. So they have plenty of vegan options there. And then afterwards, I would like to ask you some questions about it. Are you okay with this deal?
I'm not. I want a proper ice cream, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't really like
I guess it depends on the vegan options.
So they have chocolate and they have a bunch of different sorbet options as well.
I'll make you a deal. If you agree to try any plant-based tastes, that they have amazing ones here, then I will pay for that for you. And then in exchange, then you just have to give us a feedback about the taste and about what you thought.
It's not a bad deal.
No, right?
Yeah, of course.
Perfect.
And we're standing at this shop because we know it's amazing.
Okay. I mean, I was gonna get lemon anyways, and I think that that's included in the vegan options. So
Okay.
I'll go for it.
Okay, great. So I'll pay for your ice cream, and afterwards we'll have a little discussion there.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Thanks.
A few moments later.
Okay, so thank you for trying the ice cream. Indeed.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah. Now, what's the feedback about the taste, and what did you think?
It's so I had the pistachio.
Yes.
And it's a really rich, nutty taste
Yeah.
and really full of flavors. Like you can really taste the pistachio. So it's really, really nice. Yeah.
Amazing. Just the pistachio you had?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I think it almost tastes like chocolate how they make it here. It's crazy, right? It's so full.
Yeah. And they also do this cream of pistachio that you can do on the croissants,
Yeah.
which I will try another time.
Another time.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. That's to hear. Did you notice any difference with the usual ice cream in terms of taste? Maybe the one you're used to, the dairy based or something.
Yeah, so of course the dairy makes it taste creamy. So this is more a nutty flavor, but because of the grind, I suppose it still has a smooth feeling in your mouth. So which is almost cream-like. Because the nuts have an oil, of course, in it, so that's also creamy.
Yeah.
So in a way, you don't really miss the cream flavor in that way.
Yeah.
And it's a bit fresher in your mouth, I think.
Yeah. Perfect. So it's a valid alternative because it still have some sort of like creaminess on its own.
Definitely.
And then it's also less fats.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Good to hear.
All right. So give it a shot. How does it taste? The lemon.
Coconut. Dark chocolate.
How creamy is the chocolate?
Very.
Very creamy.
Very creamy.
Yeah. Nice.
Impressive. For
Impressive, yeah. Do you think that the creaminess depends on dairy?
I heard something about the fact that proper ice cream that doesn't require cream, for example, lemon, is not ever made with cream or milk. And so for something like lemon or maybe coconut or dark chocolate, if dark chocolate is lactose free, then it shouldn't. So maybe it's actually a good thing.
Yeah. It doesn't depend on dairy. It depends actually on fats, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask you, why would people choose the vegan option over the dairy option? Like, do you have any idea why people make this choice?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is maybe lactose intolerance. So maybe a vegan option tends to be associated with lactose free.
Sure.
So maybe that could be one of the reasons. Otherwise, I mean, generally, maybe some people would associate that maybe with not being related to animals, and that could be a personal choice as well.
Okay, great.
And do you know, like, maybe why in general would that be? What's your opinion about going for the vegan options? What could be the good reasons? Do you already have ideas instead of the dairy ones?
Yeah, it's interesting because I come here a lot and I actually already tried the pistachio vegan, but it was never because I wanted to have a vegan ice cream. It because I wanted a nice ice cream, and I know this particular one is really good.
Yeah.
So my starting point was never to try to have a vegan ice cream. It was always to have a good ice cream.
Good, nice.
So it makes me more aware that you question this because maybe because I know they have a really good chocolate vegan option as well, which I always left aside because I expected it to be less nice because it does not have the cream.
Yeah.
But you make me want to try that as well the next time to see that option. Yeah.
Nice.
So in general, because I don't eat meat, so for me, I already do my part. So for me, the vegan is always an extra stretch, which I kind of sometimes do or sometimes do
Right.
not.
Yeah.
So that's how I position myself a bit in the vegan options.
Yeah.
Like I never really have so much of a guilt problem with it because for me, I already do quite a
something.
lot.
Yeah.
So then I feel okay if I want an ice cream with cream, it compensates in a way. So
Because you're maybe thinking the reasoning why you didn't eat meat in the first place is because of
animal welfare, animal welfare. Welfare. Sorry.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, no, that's exactly also why we are here. We just wanna do some quizzes in a fun way, and also to also spread awareness in general, and to say, okay, this is the information.
Yeah.
And of course, you're completely free to live your life how you want.
Yeah.
But then at least you know.
Yeah.
So if you agree, I can maybe show you a footage of what happens in order to obtain dairy. Yeah. Would you be fine?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
The dairy industry, these are just how dairy is produced, regular practices. So, do you know why cows produce milk?
Because they need to feed their offspring.
Exactly. So because they have babies,
That's
and
right.
for their babies. So in order for us to get milk or dairy from a cow, we need to impregnate them. So first, a farmer comes and forcibly impregnates cows, and then they have a baby after 9 months, just like humans. And then when they have a baby, the baby is immediately taken away from them. This is between 1 and 3 days, which they obviously don't like. They're mammals, they're social creatures, they love their children. But the reason that we take the babies away is because we want the milk. So the baby doesn't get to drink the milk; they drink a cheap substitute of milk, and we get the milk for cheese and ice creams and so forth. So there's two options: either it's a boy or a girl. If it's a boy, boys they don't produce milk, so they're considered a waste product in the dairy industry. And within 3 to 9 months, they will be sent to the slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
So from the moment they're separated from their mom, they never get to see their mom again. And then within 3 to 9 months, this is where they end up. And unfortunately, this is a necessary component of the dairy industry. Because in order to get milk, we need to have babies. And babies can be boys, and boys don't produce milk, and so they are slaughtered. And this is happening. This is the standard practice worldwide.
Yeah, and if it's a girl, if she's gonna have the same life of the mother, so she will, she's closing the super small hatches, and she's
So me
impregnated
minding
again.
the animal welfare by not eating meat, it's not doing the full
Not
full yard yet.
the full picture, indeed. But
Yeah.
it's amazing that you have this wish, and that you feel it's in your heart, because then now you know.
Can extend easily, maybe. Yeah.
And you
yeah.
can consider, well, if it's just about this rather than this, and I like
Yeah.
the choice just as much. And like you said, if it's with nuts, it's just as creamy.
Definitely.
If it's with fruit, no problem anyways. And maybe sometimes you will feel a little bit of difference at the beginning, because then it's just a habit.
Yeah.
And once you build that habit, you go completely on autopilot mode.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you're happy with the taste, and especially if it's worth it for the animals, then why not?
And do you have on your YouTube channel also cheese options? Because that's a difficult one, I think.
So I can give you some tips if you live in
nice.
Amsterdam for
Yeah.
sure. But usually, like the good ones so far are the ones from fermented cashews. And then the fermentation process is exactly the same as dairy. So like they form exactly the same camembert's skin, for example, exactly the same thing. You can make also it yourself with soaked cashews and then blended with nutritional yeast and garlic and some lemon, and you make this super creamy cheese. There are more detailed recipes online.
Oh, you make me very curious.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's so nice to hear. And this is all really so. Final thoughts, maybe, or
No, yeah, it's good. It's just good to be more aware of things in general.
Yeah.
And even though I feel that I already do my share, I could maybe do an extra step in the right direction. So thank you for pointing that out.
thank you so much. That's so nice to hear. And
Yeah.
that's basically it's so easy if you put yourself in the shoes of the victim. And you're like, even if it's just what some people tell us, oh, but it's just one steak a month, and but it's still that individual.
Yeah. Yeah, and with this, I'm trying to think why I don't before was so aware. Maybe also because it's just one scoop. It's just
Right.
so small. Like it's just it's not like you have a meal in which you really prepare and buy food. It's more a snack and easy grab, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe that makes it also less of a moment to be aware. But so it's good that you pointed out.
And it's good to remember how much power you actually have, because we think, oh, I'm just one, it's just this little thing, but it's about supply and demand.
Yeah.
So once you take something from the shelf, they replace that.
Yeah.
So, and it's all about the consumer. It's all this marketing, all
Yeah.
this big machine, multi-million-dollar machine, is just to get to people to buy that. So if you actually have a lot of power, and if with your power you vote with your money, and you say, no, I don't want to pay for this to happen on my behalf. Like,
Yeah. So
that's
thanks.
it. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. Thank you so much.
How does that make you feel?
I guess better for having chosen the vegan option.
Exactly. So having seen this, knowing that the creaminess of ice cream doesn't come from the dairy, would that make you reconsider your choices next time when you go and get an ice cream? Or, for example, a cappuccino, would you take an oat milk cappuccino instead of the dairy milk cappuccino after knowing what is happening to these animals?
No, yeah, I think definitely it's something that will come to mind if I'm able to remember it. I mean, it's so common in like nowadays, or I guess always has been the standard to not think about the milk that you drink and how it comes. But knowing that, and if that was more in your mind, then it definitely would make a difference.
Great, yeah. And do you think it is necessary for human beings to eat dairy or to have any kind of animal products like meat, fish? Like, do you think it is nutritionally a necessity for us?
I mean, I'm not a biologist or anything like that. Off the top of my head, I would say yes, just because I think that maybe historically it's been there, and maybe there's a reason for that. But at the same time, I'm not a scientist, so I can't say or confirm or deny.
Okay, well, let's say that you find out that there is no need whatsoever for any animal products in our food, and that is the science is pretty clear on that, and you find this out, then why would you still continue eating animal products?
I think most of it would be probably due to cultures. A lot of people have it in their culture to eat specific types of foods, and it's also a social experience. So maybe some people could be convinced back into doing something that isn't maybe the most logical. because of things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's probably the main thing I would say.
Yeah. So, final question: do you think that culture justifies what you have just seen and taste? Well, taste. You know, the taste
Yeah.
of this
Yeah,
is good,
yeah, yeah.
right? So,
I think
do you taste or culture justifies what you have just seen?
I think in the short term, it can for some people, or maybe even for me. Maybe for 1 second you might forget.
Yeah.
But in the long term, I think as we become smarter or more
Right.
exposed to the truth, I think probably no. I think
Okay.
yeah.
Great. Well,
Okay.
thank you for participating, and we'll exchange details. And yeah, this
Yeah.
was a really great conversation.
Yeah, thank
and,
you.
Really nice to meet a very open-minded person like yourself.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay. Well,
Bye-bye.
have a nice day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We did it.
Okay. Hooray.
Had some nice conversations.
That's a
today.
wrap for today. So I'm really curious. What are your final thoughts on the Dutch lady you
It
spoke
was
to?
it could not have gone any better than that. She was so nice from the start, already saying, like, acknowledging how the flavor was just as nutty and as creamy. And maybe that goes to say that there's still a perception out there that, oh, if it doesn't have like cow's milk, then it's not as blah blah blah. But it's a complete myth.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
and then she was so open-minded, and she did it for the animals in the first place, not to eat meat also already. So it was very interesting for her to understand. Well, I can actually do much more if it's even more so if it's for the animals.
Yeah, if you're in it for the animals, then you definitely should go vegan. And that's also why I do it, and maybe you as well.
Yeah.
Like, I was vegetarian for so long, and then I found out, hey, I'm vegetarian for the animals, but in fact, if I really want to be good and kind to the animals, then I should be vegan, right?
Yes. Okay, and how was yours with the guy?
Really great.
Yeah.
Actually, it was kind of funny because his friend was really close-minded, and
Yeah.
he was really open-minded. So actually, I didn't expect him to be so open-minded.
To be friends in the first place.
Yeah, but he gave, I would say, perfect answers. He said that, yeah, culturally, this is something that's happening, but if you think about it more, probably shouldn't. So that was really honest. And I think, well, he's probably not going to change on the spot, but he's going to be thinking about it. And if everybody would have this open mind, then we would have a much better world. So.
Yeah, definitely. And it's interesting also that the friend at first said, no, I will refuse. At first he says yes because we offered to pay, but then he said, no, I still want the creaminess. So he's willing to pay more for a taste.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, but then he
Yeah.
missed out on a good vegan
And the
ice
way
cream.
he said it also was really like, no, I don't want,
No,
like, he's
absolutely
like those
not.
vegans.
Maybe you try some of his
Yeah.
friend's ice cream now.
He doesn't know. I mean, we stand in front of this ice cream shop because it's one of your favorites,
Yes,
right?
yes.
The vegan ice cream here is amazing, and you do not taste the
too much
difference
gelato.
whatsoever.
No.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
See you in the
Bye-bye.
next one. Camion.
Quickly end it.